Speech acts are social acts that speakers carry out by speaking. So let's talk about speech acts and conversational routines. What do they have to do with each other? And what do they have to do with cross cultural misunderstanding? So, this is where we're headed. Let's begin here with speech acts. I want to give you this example. One time I was at a supermarket checking out, and the current customer is paying at that location near the cashier. I'm standing over here with the stuff I'm buying already ready to go on the conveyor belt, and the distance between me and the current customer is about 5 feet, which I recognize is quite a lot, and it was quite a lot, a very big distance according to the person behind me who was standing at a distance of 0 inches from me, literally. And she said to me, "I believe you are next." To which I answered, of course, truer words have never been spoken, and I stood my ground. But what we see here is that "I believe you are next" is functioning as criticism, as a way of telling me to do something, to modify my behavior, and that's not anywhere in the literal words that are being spoken. So this illustrates an important point about speech acts. Very often, the social act that is being carried out is not made explicit. If somebody says congratulations or thanks, well, those are very often just what they appear to be, congratulating or thanking. But of course, somebody could be criticizing you by saying thanks a lot, when in fact they are not thankful. And in a case such as the customer at the supermarket saying, "I believe you are next," that's another case where the intention that she's going for is not directly stated. This is very often the case with speech acts. And this is related to conversational routines. So rather than explicitly stating what speech acts we're carrying out every time, we often rely on routine phrases that other people will recognize, other people in the same culture, that is, will recognize as a particular speech act. So, how are you functions as a greeting for many speakers of English. That's a routine. But in some other places, have you eaten rice may function as a greeting. Or where are you going may function as a greeting. Now, this may seem strange and unexpected to you, but in some cultures, this would be just people would be on the same wavelength and know that these are greetings. These are examples of routines. So this is how we can see that there can be a connection between the fact that speech acts are not may are often different from the literal meaning of what is being said, and that's often because we are expressing a speech act by means of a set conversational routine, which other fellow members of the culture will recognize. But for somebody operating outside of their culture in a cross cultural situation, they would actually have to learn these routines to know how to interpret them. Imagine if you are a second language learner of English and you know the words how, are, and you. Just knowing those three words, you wouldn't know that how are you functions as a greeting. That's a fourth item that you just have to learn separately. So, this is why there is a potential for cross cultural misunderstanding in this area.